Hey everyone, this is a quick Instructor's Corner video. With our tournament coming up in just a couple days, I wanted to go over a couple important things real quick in terms of etiquette when we're at a tournament, and specifically sportsmanship. For a lot of us that are doing our competition for the first time, sometimes it can be a little bit nerve-wracking, and sometimes you may not do as well as you had expected, whether that's because you were nervous, you were scared, and you feel like maybe you underperformed a little bit, or you really did do your best, but someone else was just better that day. So today I want to talk about how we can handle losing or not doing as well as we thought we would. All right, so the first and most important thing to keep in mind is that this is a competition, and the nature of competition is that there really can only be one person who comes out on top. There is one first place winner in every competition. So that means the odds are stacked against us no matter what. We have to work and earn that place. And just because you don't necessarily get to that place, don't always take first, doesn't mean that you didn't work hard or that you didn't deserve to do well. Just means that day someone else outdid you. So that is something important to keep in mind. You are fighting for a championship here, whether it's in sparring or kata or basics or whatever it happens to be. And so everyone else wants that first place just as much or even more than you do, okay? So don't feel bad, first of all, if you don't get the place that you thought. As long as you worked hard and you did your best, that is the most important thing to keep in mind. The first place, second place, third place, whatever, that is secondary to going out there and giving it 100%. When you go out and you give your best effort, you should be proud of what you get no matter what. Even though it might not have been the place that you wanted or the place that you expected, you should take comfort in the fact that you left it all out there and you showed every single person in that room what you've been working hard on and what you're capable of doing. The second thing that we want to keep in mind when we don't do as well as we thought, or even when we do take first place, is to always be respectful of the other competitors, because just like you, they put in the time to be there as well. So whether we are happy with how things turned out or not happy with how things turned out, we are always going to make sure that we are respectful and that we are proper sportsmen, proper competitors. So the other people in my division, I'm going to congratulate them regardless of the spot that they got. The judges, I'm going to say thank you to them, whether I agree with the scores that they gave me or not, whether I think they missed something, a point while we were sparring. I'm going to say thank you to them for taking the time to be there and for giving me feedback. And I'm going to make sure that I try my best to not show any negative emotions, even though, again, it can be difficult when you worked hard and you didn't do as well as you thought. We don't want to be taken away from someone else's accomplishment that day, someone else who got first place. We don't want to make them feel bad about doing that. We want to make sure that we're happy for them and we support them for doing their best. But on the flip side, if we win, we also don't want to make someone feel bad for not doing as well, because they may already be feeling that way to begin with. And so if I am the winner, I don't want to be gloating and making that person feel even worse than they already would, just as I would not want them doing that to me. So whatever side of the coin we end up on, whether we win or whether we lose, we want to make sure we take it with grace and we take it with humility, especially when we win. The third thing to keep in mind, and this is usually the hardest for most people, is that a loss should be a motivator, not a reason to quit. A lot of people, when they lose, they get upset and they lose the motivation to keep working because they thought that they did enough to win, or they thought that they put it all out there and they can't get any better than what they did. And so they will lose that drive to keep working and keep refining. But the people who do the best, the people who are the most successful champions in any sport, are the ones who take losses and use those to push themselves to be better. So when you don't do as well as you thought, that's not the time to feel bad and to feel angry or upset with yourself. That's the time to look back at your performance and think about, what did the other guy do better than me that I can copy and try to add to my own personal performance. A good thing to do is to ask the judges of your division. Again, you don't want to be disrespectful or make it seem like you're accusing them of not giving you the place that you deserve. But any of our judges at a tournament, we will be happy to share with you what we think about your kata, your sparring, your basics, your jiu-jitsu, to help you to improve. So just kindly ask the judges. Again, start by telling them thank you for their feedback, and ask them what they think you can do better. And I can guarantee you, any judge in that ring will be able to give you something that you can start working on, and something specific, okay? they will let you know exactly what it was. Maybe your stances weren't quite there and you were a little bit wobbly when you were stepping through your kata. Or maybe when you were doing your basics, your other hand kept falling down every time you did a punch or you did a block, okay? Those people that were the ones scoring you are going to be able to give you the best and most accurate feedback about what you need to do to work on, or what you need to do to improve for your next competition. All right, and one final thing to keep in mind if you don't do as well as you thought you would or as well as you had hoped is that we are always still going to support you, okay? Keep in mind that you are not going to be disappointing anyone if you don't do as well as you thought. Your parents, your friends, your classmates, and all of your instructors are still going to help you and still going to be proud of you for putting yourself out there and for giving it your best shot, okay? So don't feel like you let anyone down. The only person that you're gonna feel like you let down is yourself. And even then, like we talked about, that should not be your main emotion that you focus on, okay? Again, it can be upsetting to not do as well as you thought, but if you let that control you and you put that at the front of your mind, you're going to hold yourself back and you're gonna have a hard time improving and moving forward. So understand that no one is going to be upset with you, no one is going to be disappointed in you, and that you just need to do your best next time around, work a little bit harder, make some of those changes, ask for some feedback, and give it your all the next time around. And who knows, you just might end up taking first place the next time you compete.